Alright, so the new Dead by Daylight PTB just came out today, as of me recording. It is the Alien chapter that'll be releasing in 3 weeks from now on August 29th. And I just wanted to dump my thoughts out because I genuinely think this is the biggest disappointment of a chapter I've seen in a long time. So without further ado, I'm just gonna list off the things that I can think of on the top of my head because I'm not really doing a script for this one. But so to start off, I really like the campfire background when you load up the game. I think it is one of the best they've done. It visually very appealing and very beautiful. It is an incredible background. As for the visuals of the killer itself, the Xenomorph, also really well done. I think the visuals and sound of that killer are incredible, as well as its menu animation, which it like hangs from the ceiling or like from the sky basically, and you see like it's like acid pool from its mouth, and it's like dripping down, and then it like it like does like a crazy flip back down to the ground. It's really cool. Easily, I think the best lobby opener animation we've seen so far. The menu music for both the killer and the survivor are also really good. And speaking of the survivor, Ellen Ripley is. It sucks that we couldn't get Sigourney Weaver for the licensing for Ripley, but I still think she looks okay. She just kind of looks like an older Nancy. Uh, and I also I like that Jonesy can actually come out during the lobby. The little cat, he can like appear out of nowhere and she'll start petting him and stuff. I think that is really cool. And then in other terms of other visuals, the map is beautiful. It is such a well-designed looking map. I can't comment on balance yet because I've only played on it for 2 games, but so far it leans towards killers, I think. There's not really that many tiles, and most of the pellets seem unsafe, which kind of sucks given that most of the killer powers in this game are anti-loop. But still, I think the map is very visually well done, and I love the little Easter eggs that you can find in it. Like you'll find Jonesy the cat whenever you open up a specific lock. I don't know if it's a specific locker, if it's just random, but if you open up a locker, you'll see like Jonesy will come out and he'll meow for the survivor, and then the survivor will get inside. But overall, I think visually and sound design wise, the chapter is a huge W on that front. I can't really say any negatives about how like the animations of the killer, the tunnels are really cool visually. Um, let's talk now to go on to the perks. I think they're okay. Rapid Brutality and Chemical Trap are like the standouts for me. And I actually did get to play around with Light-Footed, and I think that's a fun perk too. I don't think it's going to be the best, but it is a fun perk to use. I don't think they're anything like Nick Cage quality perks. Like, I don't want the perks to be like meta. I just want them to be fun. And I don't think they reached the level of Nick Cage in terms of fun, unfortunately, but they're still okay. Now let's talk about the biggest disappointment of the whole chapter being the Xenomorph itself. So again, as I said, like visuals, animation, sound is like perfect. It is incredible. Like the Xenomorph is just awesome looking and sounding. Actually, there is one thing I can say about the Xenomorph's visual sound that I don't like. The chase music is fucking terrible. It is so fucking bad. And usually the chase music does change between the PTB and live. I've noticed it has been changing for the past couple of chapters, so I imagine this will actually get fixed, but right now the Xenomorph I think has some of the worst, if not the worst, chase music in the game. Like the distant terror radius is okay, layer 3 of the terror radius sucks, and the chase music itself is hot garbage. The only thing I can say about his power that I like is the tunnels. That's it. There is nothing else about his power that I like. It's just so boring and copy paste. Like, I've heard people call him Demesis, or Nemigorgon. Like, it's just, he's just a copy paste of Demo and Nemesis. Like, the tunnels are awesome. Like that's the one part of the power where I was like, oh shit, that's really cool. And aside from the cool factor, that's it. It's just a teleport that you can control, which is really what Demogorgon's portal should have been from the beginning anyway. So the tunnels are really cool, but outside of that, he's not scary. He's not scary to go against as a survivor, because as far as I understand, he has a 32-meter tear radius to begin with, and that cuts down to 24 meters when you're in your power, your running mode, as the game calls it. So when you're in running mode, 24-meter tear radius is fucking laughable. Like who gives a shit? It's 24 meters. I could still hear you and see your giant ass fucking crawling towards me. That's not scary. Like, I feel like Behavior really fucking missed the mark in terms of making this killer actually scary. That's what I wanted out of this chapter. You have, like, literally the scariest fucking thing, like one of the scariest characters in all of horror, and you make him into this shit. Where he just has, like, a fucking nemesis whip and tunnels that should have just been Demo's power to begin with. The whip is, like, his tail is just a nemesis whip, basically, that the survivors can get rid of if they use the turrets properly. Speaking of which, I want to divert into the turrets. I actually don't mind the turrets as Survivor. I think it's a cool dynamic to the power. Because what most people fail to realize, because, well, most gamers are terrible at reading, is that whenever he emerges from his control stations, Xenomorph, that shuts off turrets for a couple seconds. So instead, I see a lot of survivors just placing turrets right next to the gens in the control stations, and I'm like, dude, he can literally just emerge, hit it, and that turret is useless. Like, you want to carry it a little bit away from the gen and the control station and place it down in an area that you know you're going to run to. And I think I have some footage that I'll show on screen of that happening. But you want to place it to where you're going to run so that he has to deal with it. Otherwise, you're going to place it next to the gen and you just smack it as soon as he emerges, or smack you, and the turret might not even get to fully burn him in time. I do like the turrets. I think they should be a little more impactful. Like, honestly, what I want to see is I want to see his running mode be true stealth. Have him have no terror radius whatsoever. I want him to sneak up on me and scare the shit out of me. I really do. I really want that out of a Xenomorph, is to be surprised, be caught off guard, have him emerge out of nowhere and just slap me, you know? But as it stands, he's just a copy-paste of other killers, and it's boring as shit. Like, I played one game as killer. I wasn't going to play online because the queue times are awful, so I played against bots. But, well, I played a warm-up match, and then I played the match that you're watching right now. But I played that match, and then on Survivor, I played a match where the Xenomorph missed one tail swipe on me and then disconnected. And then I had another game where it was just 3 Twitch streamers just farming content, basically. They were doing nothing in the game. I wanted to have an actual, like, match against Xeno to see how he is actually to go against. And I got 3 TTVs being useless because they wanted to farm content. It's like, okay. And the Xeno was also a TTV, so it was 4 Twitch streamers total, but it seemed like he was actually trying to play a normal game at the start until, you know, those 3 Twitch streamers were being useless and not doing shit all game. So, anyway, back on track. I wanted this chapter to be something that the devs could just go wild with. Like, have him crawl on fucking walls, for fuck's sake. Like, have him crawl on ceilings and walls. But you know how, like, that would be, like, that would be kind of busted. But we have fucking Nurse. It doesn't matter. We have fucking Nurse and Blight in the game still. Who cares? Like, go a little wild. Get a little creative. Instead, we just keep getting rehashes of the same shit every fucking chapter, and it's so annoying. Like, there hasn't been a good chapter since fucking Wesker, and we're 4 chapters in now since Wesker. Nothing has come close to how good Wesker's chapter was. That everything that's come after it has been a disappointment. Night, and I'll talk. You know, I'll talk about this in a different video. I'll save the 4 chapters of disappointment topic for another video. You know, we'll keep on track with Alien, but it like there was so much potential to just design a new power, just have him do something new that we haven't seen before, have him crawl on walls and ceilings, incorporate face huggers in some way, you know, have him spit acid, maybe use his little like hell, even the basic attack animation could have had him use his little like his mouth, like the mouth within the mouth thing, and like stab survivors with that instead of just using claws like fucking Demo. You know, it was just such a disappointment because like I was excited because for the past couple of chapters, all 3 original chapters that came after Wesker were underwhelming, and in some cases, like with Night and Skull Merchant, shit chapters. And I do think Singularity's also a shit chapter, but I recognize that most people seem to have thought good of it. So anyway, this was Behavior's opportunity to truly come up with something creative and exciting, and we just keep getting rehashes of the same powers every single update. Like something that's like, oh, it's the Skull Merchant's drones, but you fire the thing at the, you know, it's just like man, like why can't we get creative, you know? And I know this video is just me ranting, but it's because I like this game. You know, I've been a part of this game since July of 2016. I have fucking 3 full legacy killers and a legacy piece for Claudette. Like I've been in this game for a long fucking time. I might not have the hours that some people do, but I still have been a part of this community since the beginning, basically, of the game. And it's just disappointment after disappointment. It's like, when can we have a good chapter like Wesker again? And I really wanted it to be Alien, but it just isn't. Like, I don't care about how strong or weak he is. I care about, is this killer fun to play as and against? And playing as him, aside from the tunnels, is just boring. It's just the same shit I've played with Nemesis and Demo, and that's it. Playing against him as a survivor, from what I've played so far of the 2 games, I guess you could say, he plays just as you loop him just as you would Nemesis in a way. And it's just, it's not fun, man. Like, I don't want just anti-loop power, anti-loop power, anti-loop power. Because at least with Wesker, he is the anti-loop. He's not using a projectile or some kind of ranged attack. He is the anti-loop. I like that. He has to physically hit you with his body to carry you and slam you into shit and throw you, and it's really fun. So you can't just fucking, oh, you dropped this pallet in front of me, oh, well, I could just stab you over it with my tail or my tentacle, you know? It's, I don't know, man. I just wanted to make this video because I'm yet again disappointed by Behavior's lack of creativity and innovation when it comes to new chapters. And I'm tired of seeing content creators praising bullshit and boring chapters. Like, I get it. Everyone's fucking clout hungry. Like, everyone wants that fucking 15 minutes of fame. They want to grow their channels to be like fucking like the next PewDiePie, basically. So they'll do anything and everything to farm clicks, but I just say it how it is, you know? That's how I am. Like, I see the chapter as boring, and I see how much of a disappointment it was, and I'm going to call it as it is. I'm going to call Behavior out on making another crappy chapter. But anyway, and one last thing before I log out of this video. If you cope about, oh, it's just a PTB, bro, they can make changes, dude. You know, you're coping. You're hard fucking coping if you genuinely think that, oh, it's the PTB, bro, things can get better, dude. Just be patient. Wait the 3 weeks till the fucking chapter comes out and they might fix something. No. we said this. People said the same thing about Knight. They said the same thing about Singularity. They said the same thing about fucking Skull Merchant, and they're all the fucking same. It doesn't matter. Either the killer has a good power when the PTB comes out, or they're a fucking flop until they get reworked. That is just how it is. Either the killer has a well-designed power from the start, or it's going to be shit no matter how many fucking tweaks you make to it. Wesker's power started off fucking amazing and still is fucking amazing. Not just because it's strong, but because it's fun to play with and it's fun to go against. None of the 3 killers I just mentioned plus Alien have fun powers that are unique and interesting and spice up the gameplay. They really don't. It's more of the same shit that we've already been playing, and it's just so fucking boring. It's just so boring. So no, the fact that it's a PTB, oh my god, it's a PTB, bro, things could change. No, no, you're just coping. You're just fucking coping. That's your fucking way of saying, yeah, behavior made a shitty chapter, but yeah, no, this chapter's boring. If you let me know what you think in the comments. If you liked what I had to say, if you liked my rant, leave a like on the video. Dislike it if you dislike it. All right, Doompunk out. Have a good day, everybody.